When looking at equilibrium in A-level chemistry, it's all about Le Chatelier's principle. Now, if you remember the definition for Le Chatelier's principle and you come across a question about, oh, I've changed the temperature or I've changed the pressure in a system, Le Chatelier's principle will actually help you get your head around what's going on. So what is it? Le Chatelier's principle states that if you change the conditions of a dynamic equilibrium in a closed system, the equilibrium will shift to oppose the change, and that's the most important bit. So if you increase the temperature, it's going to shift to try and decrease it by favouring the endothermic reaction, absorbing heat energy. If you decrease the temperature, it's going to shift to increase it by favouring the exothermic reaction, releasing heat energy out into the system. Well, what about concentration? If you increase the concentration of one side, it's going to shift to oppose that and reduce that concentration back down. The only way it can do that is by shifting to the other side of the equilibrium, using up those things that you've just put in there and increase the concentration and making stuff on the other side. Of course, the opposite's true. If you decrease the concentration of something, it shifts to oppose that and increase it again. The only way it can do that is by taking stuff from the other side and making more of that product. The only other thing is pressure. So in gaseous systems, if you increase the pressure, it's going to shift to try and decrease it, again opposing the change. So if you increase the pressure, it's going to favour the side with the fewest moles of gas, and that decreases the pressure back down again, taking the pressure out of the system and therefore reducing the overall pressure. Whereas, of course, if you decrease the pressure, it's going to shift to try and bring it back up again. How does it do that? Well, by favouring the side with the greatest moles of gas. You've got more moles of gas, it's going to increase the pressure of that system again and oppose the change. So when it comes to equilibria, recite to yourself that Le Chatelier's principle. If you do something, what's going to achieve the opposite effect?